Very good morning and welcome to today's live market profile and order flow trade analysis by Tradeducation. First of all, sorry, I'm having some technical difficulties since morning, so there were some couple of Windows updates, and due to which it's all getting delayed, plus electricity and whatnot. So I think the infrastructure of India is now getting affected through Corona. Okay. So let me start today's session. We are already late by 7 minutes. So we are episode 196, and before I share today's analysis, there's a quick disclaimer that trading involves substantial risk and is not suitable for all investors. Also, the information which I'm sharing is for educational purposes only and cannot be used for any trade related activities. Okay. So let me just quickly share my screen and let's look at what happened. So I'll just open up the market profile chart first of all, and we will just study the entire auction due to the limitation of the time. Okay, so just a second. Okay. So what was happening yesterday is, so first of all, let me just mark the references. So one of the references was HVN, second reference was the VPOC. Okay, these were from this particular balance. So this is the balance, this is the 5-day balance for which I created the profile, and this was the HVN from yesterday's, or I would say from 14th of October's auction. So there was one HVN which I was looking at, and then there was this VPOC. So these were one of the major important reference levels which I was currently continuously looking at and trying to observe how the auction is developing. Okay, so auction I think is getting rejected, and there were a couple of anomalies. So some of the anomalies were this gap, then we had two lows. So this low was also weaker, and this gap got filled, and actually around this single print zone is where the auction halted. Okay, so today what I'm expecting is do we see continuation to the downside, because this is an immediate reference where I'm expecting a sort of reversal, and I'm expecting a sort of reversal. Okay, but overall it was a good trending day to the downside. Today let's see where the auction opens. So let me mark the references. So I remove this, remove this, remove this, okay, remove this, remove this particular gap. Okay, so the auction is opened within yesterday's range. So I'll just remove all these references, because these were all the weaker references wherein the auction developed. Okay, so now if you see where where this auction is halting, this auction is actually taking support around the point of control or around the value area low. So let me zoom in. So right now the auction is just a few tick away from the half back and also the value area. So the low of today is weaker. So this is a weaker reference. I'll just mark it here. So the low is weaker, and what is happening is the auction is opened within yesterday's range and it is just developing sideways. So one of the references is this. So this is the single print zone. We need to see whether we see rejection or continuation towards here or not. Okay, let me also go to the volume profile chart and let me just see what's happening there. Okay, so this was the balance. It got completely rejected, and right now it has entered, it is getting supported around the value area high. Okay, so this is another balance, this is another balance, and this is that balance high, and this is the balance low. this is the value area high wherein actually it is getting sort of support. This is the VPOC and this is the value area low. Okay. So we need to observe whether the value area high continues to act as a level of support or not. Okay. So let me delete this. So this reference is 11716. So I'll just mark that reference. I'll just call it as VAH. Okay, I'll just call it as VAH and we will see what happens. Let me jump to the order flow chart. So we are just hovering around VWAP. High is secure, unfinished auction around the lows. There are a lot of unfinished auctions and already 5,900, so 6,000 contracts traded. We are still a minute to go. Let me go back to the BSA chart. So let me delete all these references. So we have got one HVN over here, one HVN, one more HVN which has been tagged, one more HVN here. So this is a reference level 11730. Yeah, where there is the POC of today, DPOC of today. So a lot of anomalies to monitor, a lot of references to observe today. But right now the delta is, cumulative delta is becoming positive. Buyers are stepping in. So let them continue higher, let them go higher. And let's see where do they get exhausted. So overall, what has happened is yesterday, if you study yesterday's auction, the auction came down. Today the auction is opened within yesterday's range. So we need to see whether we have a balanced profile, whether we see continuation to the downside, or whether we see a reversal. Okay. So these are the three scenarios which can happen today. Okay. So based on that context, you have to take the trades. So right now buyers are in control. Let the auction go higher. And let me see if there are any comments. So no comments. Okay. So auction is going higher. 9,000 contracts already traded. It's a pretty good volume flow coming in the first 5-minute candle. Still we are seeing continuation to the higher side. Good positive delta happening, coming in. So buyers are currently the stronger player, sellers are the weaker player. And if you study the price action of this particular profile, if you see this entire zone is a selling zone wherein sellers came in and auction just went down. This is where some sort of balancing happened. This is the zone where some sort of balancing has happened. Other thing to note here is, so where is the value of yesterday? Okay, so let me just minimize this chart. So overall, this is the value, and right now, if you see, the auction is just trying to enter the yesterday's value. Okay, so that's how you can trade. Whether the auction is trying to enter the value or not. So right now it is trying to accept yesterday's value. So it means that is a good trade plan. So one of the trade plan is, do we see acceptance in the value, or do we see rejection around the value? So this is a good reference point wherein a good trade location should come in. So there will be some sort of rejection now, and wait, just observe and just wait patiently. So we are getting rejected around the yesterday's value area low. I'm looking at the numbers. The high is not secure, it's a poor high. delta is increasing in terms of positive side. So odds are higher that we will be expecting or accepted within yesterday's value. So two scenarios will happen. One is we should see continuation to the upside, or we should see rejection from here. Odds are less that rejection being seen are less. Odds are high that we will be getting accepted, and try to tag maybe around this level. So there is a half back level here, there is one more half back level here, there is one more half back level here. So these are the three references wherein weaker references or anomalies which we can see, which can be tagged if the auction continues to the upper side. Okay, so right now it is getting rejected. Auction sellers are stepping in. So let's look at VWAP, what happens around the VWAP. Okay, so buyers are again stepping in. So odds are, let's see which way the auction develops further. Does it continue to the higher side, or because right now VWAP is acting as the level of support. So one of our trade location is you can take a long trade, keeping your stop loss below VWAP, because here there are a lot of stacked momentum buyers. Okay, so you can either keep a stop loss here exactly at VWAP or one or two ticks below VWAP or below the value area low. This is the value area low. Okay, so that is the trade plan which I'm seeing. Or a trade location, sorry, not the trade plan, but the trade location which I'm able to spot. I'm just observing the auction. I think you should be out of the trade now. So for the moment, the auction is getting rejected from yesterday's value. Okay, so it is getting rejected. Now we are just hovering around the point of control of today. So you should be out of this trade which I shared. So the first trade was in a loss, and that's how trading works, guys. So not every time you'll be making profits. There's a rule of giving back. We give back a lot in terms of taxation and whatnot, but we have to give it back. Okay. So now the odds are high that we should be tagged the low, because the selling is now pretty heavy. So delta, if you see, there is a divergence in delta. So 9,800 to 7,150. We're still 3 minutes to go, and you see the delta is now slightly turning negative. Delta is dropping here. You see this is the delta drop. Auction is, it was just one time framing higher, then now it is just going in the opposite direction. So good volume in the first 5 minutes. So I think this is one of the other option is you can take range breakout trade. So we are seeing a breakout failure. We are just accepting trading uh, within this range. So don't take any trades for the moment. Wait for this particular range breakout to happen. Okay. So a lot of strategies which you can take, but overall, if you understand from the context, we are in the where buyers came in. So these are the levels where buyers came in, and this is a strong. So one of the support zone is this particular candle, and then second is this particular candle from price action perspective. So these are the two strong support zones, and so currently, if you see from this thing, yesterday's auction actually halted in this first buying zone. Okay, and today's auction also opened around the high of this buying zone. Okay. So we are in the buyer's territory. So let's see that buyers do step in. Looking from the volume yesterday, good volume flow happening. Yeah. Let me jump back to the order flow chart. So 2 minutes to go before this particular candle to close. So buyers stepping in. If you look at this wicks forming, and I think there is an HVN. Yeah, this is that particular HVN 11,723. So the HVN I'm talking of is this balance. So there is some balancing activity forming in this zone. So this is that HVN 11,723, and the auction is just developing around it, higher than that. So choppiness action seen. So wait for the first 5 minute candle high to be broken, or the low to be broken, or basically, because this is where stacked momentum buyers are there, and that's where they came in, and now they are taking the auction higher. So let's see whether buyers continue to do that or sellers are stepping in or not. So again, you can take a long trade. You can take a long trade keeping your stop loss below this candle low. This is a one more trading opportunity. So good buying flow coming in. So good buying flow happening. The high is weaker, so expect or odds are higher that it will be getting tagged. We're still 3 minutes to go. Sellers are stepping in now. So I'll be looking at how the tempo is coming when it is trying to tag the high. I'm just right now observing that. So sellers are getting absorbed. Yeah, good tempo coming in, but not so good volume. So let's see whether we see continuation to the higher side or not. One minute to go. Also, there is one more anomaly, double mechanical reference bottom. So if you see yesterday's low is around the close and the single print zone. Okay, so close, close, open. Okay, so it's a very visual reference. Okay. So now I'm expecting sellers to step in, buyers to get exhausted. I think the trade which I shared to go long, keeping your target with around the today's high. So you should be out of the trade now. So the second trade was into profits. So we are getting rejected again around the value area low. So basically getting rejected from the yesterday's value. Also value is migrating lower. So good rejection seen from the candlestick. Let's see whether we see continuation from sellers and try to go below the VWAP. Okay, so that's what I wanted to share today, and let's catch up coming Monday and observe, how the auction develops. So just observe the references which I have shared, how the auction is getting developed, and based on that you can take the trades. Yeah. So take care, happy and safe trading. Bye for now.